Alright, this is a video for 3HT about exercise 30. And it's about these two functions, fx equals x squared minus 6x plus 5, and this one, gx equals minus 2x plus 2. Now you see that we have to do a lot of different things, so I'm going to try my best and explain everything to you. So also, if you understand this exercise, that means you pretty much understand everything you need to know, so that's nice. First it says here, exercise A, calculate f1, f minus 3, g5 and g0. Now I'm going to pick one of them, because the other ones are well, basically the same. I'm going to pick the one with a negative number, because that sometimes is a bit more difficult. The formula here is x squared minus 6x plus 5, and x is now minus 3. So what we're going to do is minus 3 squared, and then minus 6 times minus 3, and then plus 5. Now if you calculate that, you get 9, and this is going to be plus 18, because negative times negative is positive, and then plus 5. Now if you calculate this, you get 32. So this is how you calculate the outcome if you know what the x is, right? So f and then in brackets a number means that that number is x. We're going to go to exercise B. It says point P is on the graph of f with xp is minus 5. Calculate yp. Okay, so we know that the x coordinate for P is minus 5. If you want to know the y coordinate for this point, you have to fill in the minus 5 in the formula. So you get minus 5 squared, minus 6 times minus 5, and then plus 5. So this is 25 plus 30 plus 5 is 60. And that's the answer for 30B. Alright. So far so good. Now we're going to go to 30C. It says that the graph of f has x-intercepts Q and R. Calculate the coordinates of Q and R. Okay, so what you should know is, well, here's an example of a formula here. If you talk about the x-intercepts, then you know that the y is 0 because the points are on the x-axis. So what we need to do is I need to write down the formula, which is x squared minus 6x plus 5, and then we need to say that it equals 0. Then we need to solve that equation. Now you can use the product sum method for this. Then you need to find two numbers. If you multiply them, you get 5, and when you add them, you get minus 6. So in this case, it's minus 1 and minus 5. So then x minus 1 equals 0, which means that x is 1, or x minus 5 equals 0, which means that x equals 5. So one of these points is for Q, the other one is for R. It doesn't really matter which one you choose for which one, so you can swap the order if you'd like. But I'm going to do 1 for Q, so that's 1.0, and then for R we'll have 5.0. And this has to be 0 because it's the x-intercept, and if it's the x-intercept, then we know that the y is 0. So that's why it's 1.0 and 5.0. Moving on to exercise D, so we're nearly halfway there. It says here the graph of f has y-intercept s. Calculate the coordinates of s. Well, this is the y-intercept, and for the y-intercept, the x is 0. So we know that x is 0, so we're going to fill in 0 into the formula. So you get 0 squared minus 6 times 0 plus 5. Well, this is easy to calculate because it's just 5. So the coordinates for point S are 0.5, and that's exercise D. Alright, then we're going to go to exercise E. Find out whether point D is on the graph of G. Alright, so I'm going to write down the point first. It's minus 8.18. And now we have to use the other formula. We have to use the formula for G. And the formula for G is minus 2x. So minus 2x plus 2. So we need to fill the minus 8 in over there and then see if the outcome will be 18. So we're going to fill in minus 8. So you do minus 2 times minus 8 and then plus 2. Well, this is 16 and 16 plus 2 is 18. So indeed, yes. Point T is on G. So that's the answer for question E. Then we're going to go to question F. It says here, calculate the coordinates of the vertex of the graph of F. Alright, well let me write down the graph of F again, or the formula or the function for F, which is this one. If you want to calculate the vertex, then this is what you learned. To calculate the x vertex, you do minus b divided by 2a. Well, b in this case is minus 6, so we get minus minus 6, which is just regular 6, divided by 2 times a, which is 2. So the x vertex is 3. If you want to calculate the y vertex, then we need to fill in 3 into the formula. So you get 3 squared minus 6 times 3 and then plus 5. So this is 9 minus 18 plus 5 equals minus 4. So the coordinates for point T, it was called, what was called? Actually, it didn't have a name, so we just write down the vertex is 3 minus 4. like that. So then we're going to go to, this was exercise F, so now we're going to go to exercise G. It says draw the graphs of f and g on the same set of axes. Now, this takes a bit of time. I think you know how to draw a graph, so I'm not going to do it, but you can do it, and I'm going to send you the answers later in this week, and then you can compare the answers with the your answer with the answer that I'm going to send you, and then you see do it correct. But to sum up, first you make a table, right? And for a quadratic function, you make a bigger table than for a linear function, because here you only need 2 points, and here you need at least 6 points. And then you can make a nice parabola and a straight line, and then they go through each other, maybe, or maybe not. I'm going to do exercise H here. It says there's a vertical line through point 8.0, and it intersects the graph of f in point K and the graph of G in point L. You need to calculate the line segment there, because I'm going to sketch these two graphs here. So we're going to do H is a set of axes. Well, f is a parabola, so it will probably look a bit like this, and the other one is a straight line, which, well, might look like this actually. And there's here the 8 could be there, and then the line goes through the two formulas here and there. And they say it goes through point F, or graph F in point L, and here point K, and here in point L. And we need to know the distance of this line. So what we need to do actually is, this picture makes it a lot more difficult, this whole story makes it a lot more difficult. But we know the x-coordinate, it's 8. So we're going to fill in 8 in this formula and in that formula, and then compare the answers with each other, and then we know the length of line segment KL. So first I'm going to fill it in into the formula for f, so that's 8 squared minus 6 times 8 plus 5, so that's 64 minus 48 plus 5, so that's 21. I'm also going to fill it in into the graph of g, so I have to fill in 8 here. So that's minus 2 times 8 and then plus 2, that's going to be minus 14. So you see that my sketch was pretty accurate, right? So if you want to know the line KL, we take a look at the difference of this. So you do the highest number and then minus the smallest number. So 21 minus minus 14 equals 35. So the length of KL is 35. So this was whole exercise 30. Kind of big, but hopefully you understood everything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.